Hello, and welcome to Advanced Mathematics 1, Unit 9, Part 2, Graphing Cubic Functions. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to do the following, which is just graph cubic functions, exactly what the title was. Our main concepts for today are as follows. The cubic function is y equals a parentheses x minus h quantity cubed plus k. That might look familiar because all of these functions have the same basic concept going on with the a, the h, and the k. The domain of the function is all real numbers. The range is also all real numbers. Shifts, stretches, and reflections work exactly the same way as they did with the absolute value function. So basically, we've already learned how to graph most of this stuff in this lesson. It's just we're changing which function we're doing it to. All right, in this first example, we will be graphing the function f of x equals x plus 4 quantity to the third power minus 6. So we're going to start by finding our vertex, just like we did with absolute value. And it's what makes the inside of the parentheses 0, which is negative 4. And then what's outside of the parentheses is the other value. So I'm going to find negative 4, negative 6 on my graph. So negative 4, negative 6, right there. Okay, this thing, as you could see, is kind of an S curve. So we're going to want to plot some points on it. You just need to know the basic function. So x cubed is, so if I start with x is 1, then y is also 1. So I'm going to go one spot over to the right and then one spot over to the left. You're going to want to go 2 more, so I'll just so 2 cubed is 8. So when you go over another one, you get up to 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's up here. And the other one will be 2, 8 the other way, which I can't quite do because there's not enough room. So I'm just going to draw my curve. Kind of a funky looking S, basically. Not exactly an S, I don't know what else to call it. But yeah, that's what the curve looks like. It always goes up on the right and down on the left unless it's negative, and then it's going to flip the other way. All right, our second example is pretty much the same as the first, except for I had that number up front, which means I have a multiplier involved, so I want to deal with that as well. So I'm going to start with my vertex. So what makes the inside of the parentheses 0 is 2. What's sitting outside the parentheses at the end is 5. So my vertex is 2, 5. And then I have a here of negative 3. So I will have my normal graph, and then I will have negative 3 times the y value. Guess I didn't need the third box, but you get the idea. All right, so normally you'd have 1, 1 cubed is 1, and negative 3 would be negative 3. Negative 3 times 1. And then, but if I go to the second value, 2 cubed is 8, and 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. So I'm not going to be able to graph that because it's way too far away. So let's just start with graphing the vertex of 2, 5. So that's up here. And then if I go over, I would normally go over 1 up 3, but I'm going to go backwards because this is a negative. So you actually go over 1 down 3 the other way. So 1, 2, 3. So when you have a negative, you have to go to the left first, and then you'll go to the right. And then you'll go over 1 and up 3 from there. So it's backwards in that regard. I'm gonna connect to my curve. kind of. And there's my really bad curve, but you get the idea. For our final example, we have a number inside the parentheses with the x. That means we have to factor that out first, just like we did with absolute value. So I'm going to start by changing my function. I'm just going to call it y because it's faster than writing f of x. And I'm going to factor the 2 out of the inside of the parentheses. So I have x plus 5 to the third power plus 5. And now we separate it out. So we have 2 to the third power times x plus 5 to the third power plus 5. So 2 to the third power is 8. This is going to be big. Because that 8, that's going to make things really big, 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 big. All right, but it's a normal graph, so that means it goes up to the right and down to the left. So we're going to start by finding a vertex, as we always do. So our vertex is what makes the inside of the parentheses 0, which is -5. And then outside the parentheses is just 5. And then my A is 8, so I need to set up my little chart with an 8 times y. So when x is 1 normally, y is also 1, because 1 cubed is 1, and 1 times 8 is 8. So I'm not even going to bother finding more than that, because it's going to be huge. So let's go ahead and graph it. We need to find -5, 5 to begin with. So -5, +5. And there we go. And now we want to go over 1 to the left on x and 8 up on y. So I can't quite get 8, but I'll try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like way up here. And then the other one is the other way, over 1, down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's there. So my curve will look something like this. Actually turned out pretty decent, except for that bottom part. So here I spoke too soon. All right, that's all.